like a lot of celebrities do. And he'd find the doctor, just the right one, who would do the thing that Michael wanted him to do. Michael felt that he needed to escape, you know, and he had always been suffering from insomnia from as far back as I can remember.
Michael Jackson did have a problem. Do I believe he was an addict? No, I don't believe Michael Jackson was a drug addict. He went through cycles, you know, and it really depended on what was happening in his life and in his world.
I had no reason to think or believe that he was on drugs until my children came to me one time and they said it. And I said, well, I've never seen him in that shape. And I went to him and I talked to him about it, and he kept denying it.
I asked him, I said, now, Michael, is there any problems I should know about? Well, what do you mean? I said, well, you know, once in a while you seem a little dizzy. You want to go to rehab? No, there you go. See, now why would you assume that? I'm not taking anything, Frank. I'm not doing one thing.
One of the people working for him said, you won't ever guess what this man is doing to get to sleep. And I said, what? And I was told he's using an anesthetic. And I said, what? How do you do that? I had never heard of such a thing. He said, dude, I don't know what to tell you, but that's what's going on. Unfortunately, he did find doctors who were willing to do this crazy thing that ultimately led to his death.
We have a gentleman here that needs help. He's not breathing.
We have breaking news for you tonight. The singer Michael Jackson is reported to have died from a heart attack.
When I heard that my brother had passed away through my sister Janet, who asked me to pull over because I was rushing over to my mom's, I just couldn't believe it. So I had to just sit in my car and pull myself together, you know, and I went over to my mom's home. The entire family had met that evening and was there condoling in each other, you know. It was rough. Just the whole time was a rough time in my life.
It's so very difficult, David, to talk about it. It really is. And I was heartbroken. I was just totally heartbroken.
It was probably one of the most surreal and solemn days of life as we know it, I would think.
I was devastated. I started to cry. We had spent 40 years of our lives as the closest of friends, and I couldn't believe it.
I remember the feeling I got, you know. It was like somebody punching you in the stomach. God, it was just so...
I didn't follow the news a lot. I'll tell you why I didn't follow the news. It's because of the people exploring the man. That makes me sad.
The night that Michael died, the day next year I did, I mentioned Michael too, and it just was, people just stood up, you know, they stood up. And a lot of people took their cigarette lighters out and just lit it. You know, it's just sad, man. It's sad.
It's just a sad moment to have to carry one of your brothers to his grave.
We would perform all night to shoot every day.
It's not a good feeling. is a major part of you died with that.
And there was this man's house who used to sell candy. We used to stop there and just load up and eat candy for days.
I've never lost a child. Children are supposed to bury their parents, not burying children. And that's what hurt me the most. Many days I go back to his first cry from the doctor slapping him on his butt until his death. But all the memories of Michael's been fond to me. I can't pick out any particular. I'm happy with the children here, and at the same time I'm sad because their father's gone. They always say, Daddy did it this way. Daddy used to do this. Daddy used to do that. Those kids are so proud of their father. So I can't find words.
To me, it's just such a loss too soon.
It left such a gap and made us see what was missing. And why hadn't we embraced him? Why hadn't we loved him?
He gave us so much love and so much wonderful music. And I think that this is what we'll always remember him for.
I love the fact that everything he sang from his heart. And I love listening to him singing every record he's ever recorded.
Michael's legacy is that he will be known as the greatest entertainer ever.
Michael was a great talent. He was the best overall talent that I've ever seen in my life, and I've been following talent since I was 3 years old. He was the best I ever saw.
I'll remember that little boy that I met when he was 10 years old. That little feisty, cute, incredibly talented youngster that went on to become one of the greatest entertainers that ever lived.
There's only one Michael Jackson.
To me and my children, he meant so much to our life.
He was, to me, the greatest entertainer I had ever seen in my life. He was a gentleman, and he was very kind. And I'll always love him, always.
He was one of the warmest and most lovable persons you could ever meet.
I think Michael's greatest achievement throughout his life was making people happy, helping people. Somebody need an operation or a family starving and need food, he would send over groceries for a year, things like that. I think that's where he really got his enjoyment, seeing somebody sad become happy. Those are the things he really wanted to achieve that was beyond the music.
We will remember him as this great showman and humanitarian. When people say to me, do you think of Michael as being a tragedy? I just don't think of that at all. I think that Michael's story is one of triumph. This is a man who was the total embodiment of the American dream. This is a guy who came out of Gary, Indiana, and set the world on fire. He did amazing things with his life. Did he make mistakes? Yes. But that's the humanity of Michael Jackson. I think that's most appealing.
He wanted to make the world a better place. That spirit of his is still around now.
The part that I loved the most about him was that gentle friend side. All the other things everybody knows about. But that part of Michael, that's the part I love.
God bless Michael Jackson, because he was one of the greatest.
Michael Jackson became the biggest pop star of all time. But that's not how I'm going to remember him, because he was just one great human being. Rest well, my friend. I love you, Em.
Catherine, how do you feel Michael Jackson will be remembered?
Well, David, Michael practiced one thing, and it was from his heart. L-O-V-E, love. And I think he would be remembered for the love that he had for the world, and especially for his fans and his family.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I love you. Can I have a big hug?
No, of course.